Welcome to the very first episode of Cloud Unscripted. Here we have no rehearsed speeches apart from the intro, so we just talk about cloud tech and whatever else comes up. My name is Jukka and I'm sitting here with my buddies Sebastian and Tommy. We are trying to discuss about cloud for next half an hour.
Or until your hard drive runs out of space.
So grab a coffee, sit back and let's dive into it. How's things?
I say things are quite well. I changed the employer on December, so new winds, I would say. And I've had more time to exercise, so I'm a bit more energetic now.
Sebastian, how about you?
Same thing, swapped employer, went back to the old on New Year's Day, I guess, was the official swapping of places, but nothing is open then, so on the 2nd of January went to the offices, and I've also started hitting the gym nowadays, so
yeah,
feels good.
Well, I haven't, so odd man out in that sense.
Yes. So how's your year?
Well, it has been really busy. As you guys, I also changed jobs late last year at the end of November and went into a rather big project right away. It has been keeping me busy till this day, so.
I had to sit on my hands for a month or more than a month. I was waiting for that freaking security clearance to actually clear. And Supo has a lot of queues nowadays.
Yeah, they do. And depending on which type of clearance.
Yeah.
Of course, but so a lot of new beginnings.
Yes, so it's actually good to start a new year with actually something new rather than like
yeah,
like
same old.
Yeah. What do you guys think now that you have changed jobs? Has anything changed in the perspective of how you work and what kind of work you do? And
I think like what's changed in the market is the clients are very much more picky about what kind of projects they will actually fund. And the lead to order takes a lot longer than it did a couple of years back. It feels like the market has been really, really sluggish like the last year, maybe year and a half. And there are maybe some signs now that it's kicking off a bit again, but not really to the same kind of like during COVID when we were working 18 hours a day because there was just so much demand.
But if you reflect to your like personal level, has anything changed like since you came back to the company that you have been working with quite many years already?
Not in that sense. It was more kind of fun to come back to a company where you knew a lot of people instead of being like the new guy with no contacts. Nobody knows you. You have to prove your know-how, prove your expertise from the ground up. I sure didn't have to do that at all now, which was really nice.
Yes, so you are sort of like a new guy, but then you are the old guy also.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, and that's probably quite sort of a comfortable way to come into the company. As for me, example, I have been with the new employer now for approximately 2 months. And there are still lots of things that, like silent knowledge that you get when you're working longer with a single employer. Like I know the people that are close to me in a sense in the projects and that way, but then again...
Everything that's on the fringe you have no idea
Yeah, exactly.
About.
For example, like a marketing, HR and like that kind of stuff. So I have no clue about. And like then I'm constantly thinking like what is that unit and what is that team and who works there and what they do and that sort of stuff. I have told myself that it's natural, it takes time to get to know all the kinks and quirks within the company, obviously with the company that size.
But you swapped to a smaller, more like bite-sized chunk of a company, so it's maybe easier to integrate?
Yeah, I did, and it was easier to integrate because I knew people from the company already, and some of them knew me, and I think because of the size, I think it's like around 90 people in Finland, and maybe in the office there's like 30-40 people.
Yeah, but you guys are much more in the office than our companies, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, some people are. I try to be there every day unless I have a specific reason not to be there. It's a short commute for me, so I try to do my work at the office and then, separate the free time. But the things that have changed for me is maybe the fact that there's like I'm much more closer to actual developers and data engineers and architects in a sense. Not yet in same projects, but I haven't been in a company where people actually code something.
Okay.
So it's a bit different angle on how to consume Azure and cloud.
And I don't know what has changed. Maybe also my own understanding of my skill set. The hard truth is it's much harder for me to be in a smaller company. Because of the stuff I specialize in, they don't have the clients for. So, yeah, sure, if I want to do a bicep template and sit there and farm those every day, yeah, I can work in a smaller company. But that's not what I'm interested in. So,
What are you interested in nowadays?
lots of more on the governance side, FinOps, these types of things that actually give the frameworks for the guys that do the development and the delivery in the cloud to make it intelligent.
Yeah, I have also marked that my job has changed in a way that, like year by year, the amount of hands-on work has decreased gradually.
Yep.
And now, for example, working with a new company, I have done next to nothing hands-on, like technical work. But then I have done lots and lots of other, like governance, planning, and like on the workshops, trainings, that kind of stuff, which I really enjoy.
Same.
But then again, there is thought at the back of my head that if I don't do any technical hands-on work, will my skills just go down? And that's why I try to fiddle with new stuff. But it would be in a sense nice to incorporate some of it to the like a job projects also. Well, I have been there for 2 months, so there is quite a lot of things I haven't seen. So
what about you?
Well, I'm the odd man out here, so I just configured a pipeline with YAML and try to get it working. And so I'm doing that. I'm running commands on command line and I do bicep. I wouldn't say that's the only thing I enjoy. I quite enjoy like governance stuff also, but I can't like limit myself to just the bigger picture. I have to peek under the hood and see what's going on over there, because that somehow gives me the fulfillment.
Like the question is now that did you get your pipeline to work?
I did. It was a simple pipeline. It just deployed resources, but that wasn't the main focus of the pipeline. It was to run the Azure DevOps security task and then publish those findings from those scanners back to Azure portal. So that was quite good test.
Have you thought anything about like what would you like to accomplish during 2025 when it comes to like the professional point of view? Have you planned to do some like certifications, go to conferences, learn some new stuff? Anything?
All of the above. I have a couple of certs I want to do. I think is it like 305 and 500?
Yeah, the solution architect expert and then the security engineer.
Yeah. Was it 305? Maybe, probably. The 104, I don't do enough hands-on stuff. It's really hard.
It's hard to pass if you don't do hands-on stuff, but the solution architect would be good.
Yeah.
And
I got lucky in a sense that I did 104 already back in like...
when you were doing hands-on
2019
stuff.
or something like that. So I have just had to renew it every single year.
Well, other topics, I mean, I'm really looking forward to our Azure and Friends continuing this year, building the community, doing these types of podcasts, getting more visibility of all things Azure. Professionally, I have a couple of ambitions, but let's not maybe delve too deep into those yet.
And what about you, Tommy?
Well, I got quite clear goals, I think. I want to complete I think it's information security administrator now. So it's a certification that will be on beta next week, depending when this comes out, but 11th of February. It's mostly purview stuff.
Yeah.
Some Defender for Cloud Apps and something else also thrown in there, but purview thing. If I get that one, then I'll have all the security certs. I'd like to put a couple of those presentations out and try to send them to some events if I find any interesting events. And let's see.
I actually read your Sessionized profile.
Yeah,
the profile and the sessions that you had like described there, and it immediately gave me a reason to update all of my session descriptions.
Yeah, and to be honest, I was looking at another Finnish MVP's profile, so it's a merry-go-round.
Yeah, but I mean that like to get the inspiration from somebody to do that kind of stuff. I tend to be a bit lazy when it comes to
descriptions,
descriptions, and then to put my sessions in Sessionize, for example.
Yeah.
So then to have somebody who does it and does it really well, so it gives you necessary boost to actually do it yourself and now I did like a couple of sessions there, and then I still need to update a couple of more so I can make them public. I think that the majority of my goals, in a sense, are on the community side of things. Like the last year was a bit of a bummer. I didn't got that much possibilities to go into conferences or any like meetups or have any sessions anywhere basically. And then as I had a good opportunity to go to the Microsoft AI Tour Summit, whatever it was, I was sick. I couldn't speak at all the day when it was, so I needed to cancel that, and that was quite frustrating. But I think for me, it's mostly trying to get myself to write stuff and schedule something. I've actually done it pretty well now that in 3 weeks I have published 2 blog posts already, which is more than like last year total, I think. And so I'm trying to do that, and then like talking with you guys every now and then and try to publish these things. And I have planned to do some certifications, and so I have done a certification last time in 2019.
It's been a while, dude.
Yes, 4.5 years now. So it would be nice to get back on the horse and start to do those again. And now actually when you can do them at the comfort of your own home,
you have no excuses anymore not to do them.
Yeah, exactly. But you need to have a room with sort of like no windows and nobody coming in. And
no doors, no furniture.
Yeah, exactly.
Laptop on the floor.
Yeah. So probably we need to go to the asylum to have a softened room.
So don't you have a summit attend to this spring also?
Yeah, the MVP summit takes place at the end of March.
Oh, so it's later than last year, I think.
Yeah, a couple of weeks later. It was in the beginning of March last year.
And you said that your new company is paying for your...
Yeah, they are sending me there, so that is nice. But so...
Because you missed that last year also.
Yeah, I did. Well, I was in Redmond.
Working.
Yes, but I arrived to Redmond on the Sunday on that week when the summit ended on Friday. Oh. So I had it planned.
So close.
Yeah, but I had it planned so that as we should have been there like a week earlier. So I had planned that I will go there, then I somehow try to get into the MVP Summit, as I hadn't registered at all as a in-person attendee. Even if I would have been there a week earlier, I wouldn't have most likely gotten in.
There's maybe one thing I could add for my goals for this year is that I'd like to be a team lead again, or some type of manager position. I enjoy that type of work, so it would be nice to get that again. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah, we all have our own kinks and quirks
when
it comes to work.
We do.
I think that you need to do things that you actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it is just not going to fly.
Yeah, at least most
in
of
the
the
long
time.
run. Yeah.
Or majority of the time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll just be
bored.
Yeah, bored and sad.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but since late last year, I have gotten much more energy to do things like outside of work also.
It's weird.
Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Have you noticed?
Yes,
I have noticed.
I have maybe just a bit.
Yeah. Like part of it is that like changing the jobs and then gotten like sort of a honeymoon at first with a new job. I think that many people get that. I don't know if you have gotten like a boost.
Definitely a boost since I changed to the most recent employer, so I can totally understand. And now you're also getting, after sitting 1 month on your hands, you're getting some action also. So I think that the customer work is important.
It is.
Also, it's because when you change
let's not kid ourselves. We wouldn't be consultants.
No.
If there wouldn't be customer work. That's sort of the entire point with what we do.
Yeah. And I mean it's there's many events during the week at work, but I enjoyed this week when I was in a customer call. I was asking some questions because I didn't know how they operate, and then afterwards get feedback from the customer that hey, those are really good questions, and we unfortunately don't have the answers, but still those are like the essential questions that we need to be able to answer somehow.
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, and I think that when you have a customer project and you are working with other people than just within your own team in the company, that also feels nice.
This is also maybe because I swapped to a bigger company. It feels good when you go into a team meeting for like a client team, and it's like a full box of people in the team screen, and it's not like me and some other guy doing some stuff somewhere. Feels good, you're doing actual real work somewhere.
All work is real work.
I wouldn't agree on that one. There are situations where the work doesn't make any sense.
So for the first time customers, we have this seal, and if something is hard to explain, like now I would like to
Explain it to the seal.
explain why all work is not real work to the seal, because
seal, sometimes people want you to do stupid things.
like busy work.
Busy work, indeed. Like you have this one bunch of people putting rocks in a pile, these other people moving them there to count them, and then they move them back into the pile. This type of stupid, silly work, which exists everywhere. Bye, seal.
What an awesome section.
The best section is the seal. And we don't have a name for the seal. If you have a name, please let us know.
Yeah. Suggest a name to the seal. Maybe it should be named like virtual machine.
No, it's not going to be called VM-01 something. No.
That would be actually awesome. On to that note, what is something new, like actually new, you have learned during the beginning of the year?
It's from Tommy. You linked to me that the reserved instance type of thing for Defender.
Yeah,
that was
actually it's actually the same thing here. We both learned
same thing at the same time.
The same thing. I shared it with Sebastian, so we both learned it.
So I wasn't in the ring.
No,
you were left out. But the thing is that you can buy Defender for Cloud and Microsoft Sentinel as a pre-purchased plan. So you can buy. I don't remember what the units were called. Like some
execution units.
Some sort of like units you buy, and then you consume those as you go. Commit to those, you get a discount. And I didn't know that. I knew you could get VMs and SQL and some other resources.
But no, that one was really like new, and I had no idea it existed.
Yeah, and I believe with like a bigger customers that have more as a consumption, it will really make the difference.
Well, imagine
the 10%
if you have like
can be a huge amount.
Yes, imagine if your Azure spend is 50 mil a year.
Yeah.
And if Defender costs are, 2 million of that? Easy. 10% is 200k.
That's a company party you just budgeted there.
Or like 2 junior guys more for a team.
Yeah.
Actually, for me, I did the session about the managed DevOps pools, so that is probably something Azure related that I have learned during this year. I was a bit late in the game as it was announced in public preview already in August, but then it came generally available at the end of November, so in that sense, not that old piece of technology. Then one other big thing that I have learned during this year is project management and offer management and that kind of stuff. Resourcing people and trying to make sense of every bit and piece in a large-scale project. I've been included in many things, so the learning curve is quite steep in a sense. Like I had no idea about how you basically resource people for a large-scale project.
Welcome to the club now, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. In a sense, I don't like it at all, but then, in the other hand, it is quite fascinating since it's something that you don't know and you need to learn.
Yes.
That is the best way, at least for me, to learn things that I just get thrown into the deep end of the pool and then just trying to...
Dude, sometimes the resourcing request, you're wondering how many drugs are these sales guys on when they put in the requirements. Has to be good with client, has to have excellent presentational skill, has to be a unicorn coder. You're like, come on, these are like 3 different people that you just like explained in one sentence and that you know that's not gonna happen.
And then when you start to count in the FTEs and stuff like that and then trying to make sense of the different teams that you are going to need, it is a complete hassle. But it's something that I think that in order to grow within my role, it's something that I absolutely need to learn.
Yep. A lot of this stuff is admin things happening under the hood. This is what I told you a couple of years ago already. It's a lot of stuff you never saw.
To the people listening, so Sebastian has been my team lead back in the day. So in that sense, we have a longer relationship when it comes to the work-related stuff. So
I think we're done. Unless Seal has something to... Nope, he's good.
Try to come up with a name to that Seal that we have. Then let's wrap up this very first episode of Cloud Unscripted. Thanks everybody for listening, and
See you next episode.
yeah, see you next time.
Bye.